So I did want to mention, I did notice the picture of the lady with the long hair or medium length hair and layers. So in my case, because my hair is actually a little bit longer than that because it's in a ponytail, what I'm thinking about doing is, in regards to like haircut and everything, is basically growing, like, all it takes for me to donate hair is about 2 years worth. Like after 2 years, and it's like, all right, my hair's long enough, I can go ahead and like cut and donate it to 2.5, and I'm good. Like that's all it takes. And I know that not everyone is like that. Like I 100% understand. So what I plan on doing is basically growing out my hair for a little while longer, and then after growing it out for a little while longer, basically cutting it, and then after I cut it, get it like styled and dyed, because it's like, why not? So yeah, I'm gonna basically cut my hair probably in a few months, because yeah, my hair goes really fast, and it's like, you know what, I could technically do this. It's basically growing longer and such. Also, I realized that I was like, okay, I need to see the bill in order to see exactly how much my dad needs to help out. And so I'll be paying $4,500. I still owe $1,700 from last semester, from fall semester. I think that has to do with like partly the trip, and then also it might also have to do with the fact that I stayed at the dorm during Christmas break, so that was an additional $350, and so hence why it's like, okay, here you go. Hence why they're doing like that. So yeah. Why it's like $1,700. So for example, I still remember I registered for courses, and then after I registered for courses, I registered for courses, made sure my amount that I was due was below a certain amount. I think it had to be below 300. I was like, they told me, okay, you have to have this amount or less in order to register for courses. So I was like, okay. So I paid off just enough to get below that threshold last semester, and then once I paid that off, I went to once I paid that off, then I went ahead paid it off mostly. I went ahead and registered for courses, and then I was like, I'm putting in the application in order to stay over Christmas. So that was like $350 plus, I think it's $400 for staying, for the deposit. And then I know, so it's showing 7,000, and it's a little over 7,000. And I think that's because the person is basically tailgating me. Why are you tailgating me? Why are you not paying attention to the people in front? So I went ahead and turned on my blinker, and then after I turned it on, he turned on his blinker, and I'm just like, nah, I'm changing. So yeah, it's like $7,400 some dollars. So 2,000-ish or so of those dollars is basically for what is it called? It's basically for whatever. I hear dishes. Yeah, it's for basically, it's like 2,100. So I think some of it's from, like, that over amount is definitely from some of that trip, or for some of that trip, and then some of it is for, like, here. Or, like, yeah, for some of that trip, and then some of it's for, like, Christmas break and such. So, yeah. I was like, I need to get that, not fee, but I need to get that thing as soon as possible. And now I'm going off to cash the check that my grandfather sent me. So I'll have some money, and then some of the money I'll go ahead and so I'll keep some of that money, and then some of the money I'll go ahead and, or a lot of that money I'll go ahead and use to pay for the school. Oh yeah, it's interesting. So I talked to someone, and they, like, whenever I was talking to some people in the past couple days, they're like, yeah, basically some of the people are moving out because they raised the fees for, like, the dorm and such. I was like, really? Like, I should look into this, because, like, I haven't really looked at it, and it's like, okay, I need to look at it in order to double check. And so then I talked to one of the RAs, and they were like, yeah, the reason why, like, people are moving out is actually because of their GPA. Because in order to stay in the dorms, you have to have a certain overall GPA or higher. If their GPA drops below that particular amount, then they can no longer stay in the dorms. And because they did not put in the cancellation of, I'm not staying in the dorm this semester, that they're actually having to move out for this semester. Oh, shoot. Expect train when flashing. Okay. So, yeah, there's a train. I don't know where, but there is a train. So, yeah, but yeah, so those are my thought process of, like, everything. Oh yeah, I know what it is. I have the crop pot, and here's the train. I have a book with me. I did not bring the book. Ooh, I know what I can do. I can go ahead and call the the library and see it. No, I do have the book. It's in the back seat, and they're going about 20. Oh, they're done. Okay, that's nice. But yeah, I would say about 20-25 miles an hour, maybe slower. So yeah. But yeah, so I will be and the reason why I say that is because, like, the line to the left is moving, but the right line to the right is not moving. So it's like, okay, what's going on? Like, nobody's moving. I don't get it. And for whatever reason, the truck is completely stopped. I wonder if they're okay. Yeah, they're, like, completely stopped and not moving at all. So, yeah. But yeah, so I'm going to the bank my grandfather uses. My only fear is basically that he can't hear very well, so it makes it difficult. And then because the check was written about a month ago, it's, yeah, they'll be like, why? And I'll explain to them why, and I'll basically, like, explain to my grandfather, he wrote the check this date for this amount, and I really need to call him and, like, catch up with him. But yeah. So anyways, I think that's about it. That's going on right now. basically just going to the bank, and then after I'm done here, I will be going back. Hopefully I can get it cashed today. I'll be going back over to the library and returning the books and be like, okay, these are all the books that I had check out. Where are the, like, you should have, like, no books on the records. And then there's, I need to call the other librarian and be like, hey, so I have, like, one book I need to renew, and that's it. So, yeah. Anyways, oh, I talked to a lady. So I was talking to her, and she actually went to Southern for, I think, her undergrad, and she explained that, you know how for my trip, it's a week-long trip. Well, she explained that for her trip over at Southern, she actually, it was a month-long trip, and I was like, that is so cool. So it was a month-long trip, and during that month-long, basically, they went to, like, England and Ireland and I think Scotland, so they went there to those countries, and then also they did, oh, it's a, okay. Also, while they were there, they went ahead and did studies on, like, Winnie the Pooh, because her thing was elementary. And so they did studies on, like, Winnie the Pooh and, like, Beatrix Potter, who does, you know, those cute little stories that I've told you about in those small books? Like the, what was it? Like Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, for example, very popular. So it's like, yeah, basically it's this. Like, it's, you know, a study on that. I think Harry Potter, I could be wrong. I think she said that. But yeah, she mentioned about those, and I was like, oh my goodness. Like, she mentioned a few different, basically people, or writers, and I was like, that's what? And she's like, she said that she still regrets it to this day, because she was like, I can't go because she had cats that needed to be fed, and then she also had a job, and so she wasn't able to go, otherwise she would have lost her job and then, you know, her cats. And so I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, especially for it to be a month long. In this case, it's a week long, and it's a, well, I had my left leg up, and it was pushing against the thing, so that I went ahead and, like, my chair was moving forward. Okay. Whee! Okay, it shows that it's over here. I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Okay, and so, yep. All right, I'm here at this bank. I will talk to you later. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about. If there is anything else, I'll be able to respond to it as soon, like, after I'm done here at the bank, which might take an hour. And so with the fees and everything, I'll be able to pay, like, tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be able to pay that tomorrow, because I think by the time I get back, I don't know. It just depends upon my grandfather, like, whenever he picks up the phone and everything. And I realize I really need, so, like, if it's too late, I'll go ahead and just turn in the library books and then explain to my dad, like, hey, this is how much you owe. Help. So, yeah. Anyways, talk to you later. Let me know if there's anything else you want to talk about, and I'll be able to respond in an hour or so. So, yeah. Bye. Love you.